Yes.
Hello and welcome. It is 10:30 on a Saturday night, and we are about to dive into episode 2 of Untold Chronicles, set in Dust. Ooh, right, there we go. We have got hopefully audio and visual going with a few sort of connection problems. So, yeah, hope everybody's had a great weekend so far. Blessed be indeed to all of our newcomers. Thank you very much for tuning in. Say a quick number of thank yous, and then we will go straight into the action, as obviously these streams are only an hour and a half long, which seems far too fast. So thank you very much to you, the players, for jumping in and playing. We will be carrying on from episode 1 very, very shortly. Thank you very much to all of you, the viewers, for joining us on this Saturday night. And we have to say a big thank you as well to Hero Forge. They have very generously gave us permission to use all of their images um, within the campaign. So all of the pictures, or many of the pictures that you will see, are designed on the Hero Forge website. And many of the characters, as I say, are designed using Hero Forge, a wonderful way to create your own custom miniatures, get them 3D printed. You can find them at www.heroforge.com. Please note anything mentioned on the stream may not represent the view or beliefs of Hero Forge, a Sky Castle Studios LLC product. And genuinely, I keep saying this every stream, check them out because they're awesome. They're very, very cool, and it's great. Design them. You can get the files, 3D print them yourselves, or you can purchase them direct. They even do coloured ones now for those of you who don't want to faff around with painting. So, without further ado, let us do a catch up of what happened so far. The protagonists, our characters, finally met up within the ancient ruins of Hamunaptra, the city of the dead, ancient city swallowed by the sands of dust. They petitioned for permission to begin to uh, sort of investigate the ruins themselves, many tombs within the city of the dead. Um, they approached one of our characters by the name of Sekat to help them, and they petitioned their own temple of Bast. And due to the activities of the Temple of Set, a rather unusual decree was passed allowing these outsiders to the realm of Ib to go and excavate. Um, During their time within the sort of tent town, they encountered another group of people come to explore, um, some individuals from the smoke, from an organisation called the Institute of Curiosities. And it seemed they had very um, common ideas, really, and they found out that these two individuals, one called Cole Buckle and the other one Fidelia Missing, had been turned away, threatened even by some Setites, some worshippers of Set, from a dig that they were particularly interested in keeping to themselves. So our protagonists headed out into the sands amongst the ruins and encountered the Setites. There was an altercation. The Setites were not interested in negotiating or dealing. One of them, in fact, even threw themselves off the bridge. And we are going to rejoin our characters now at the end of that conflict here on this map uh, as all of the Setites were defeated. So there we go. Sounds of conflict silenced. You are once again together alone. No threat in sight currently. What would you like to do?
I think the first thing we were going to do was head up to the ruins where Mr. Buckle and Miss Missing had said there were interesting things.
Yeah. So they kind of lead you through up towards these ruins that the Setites were particularly interested to. They are a little bit shocked at your very thorough dealing with the Setites, uh, but they don't pass any particular comment. And as they kind of lead you through these ruins very rapidly, you come to the place that they were particularly interested in. There's a rectangular stone mausoleum which sits kind of apart from many of these other ruins. Um, the
As we
ruins,
walk up there, Ali would check the corpses of whatever's left over that hadn't gone over the edge.
yeah, you begin to sort of rummage around. Give me this would be an investigation roll as you sort of pad them down, have a look at them.
Investigation, not something Ali's renowned with.
DC is not overly difficult, but this we level the amount of information that you get. So depending, the obvious stuff you're going to get automatically, and it's a good job.
5.
Yeah. So
Hey.
you firstly notice quite obviously that all of them have very similar sort of tattoos, different places on their body. But you do notice there is the tattoo of what appears to be a serpent's head. Um, Different stylizations and designs, but it most definitely is a common theme on all of them. The other thing that you find relatively easy is that each of them have got a small pouch. Within the pouch are a few coins each. I will pop that into the party sheet. In fact,
Sorry, I was trying to get across to you, but my mic wasn't working. I was going to say that I was going to offer assistance to Ali while he was doing that search.
okay. Okay. Ali, do you want to accept that assistance?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. I
so
mean,
this would
sorry,
have
was that Sekat
no,
or Drew?
No, it was
this
Drew.
would be
That was
Drew.
Drew. Yeah, yeah, sure.
Um,
And I would make a comment on how his hand crossbow seems broken
yeah,
when I'm doing.
Yeah, that's why. Obviously, that's why he was distracted to take so long. He was busy trying to sort of figure out what was wrong with it. Just wasn't anything to do with his microphone being broken.
absolutely. So yeah, you can do that. This is going to give you advantage on that roll, so you can roll it again and take the highest, basically.
16.
That's much better. So
Yep.
you do see these pouches. You would have saw the pouches with 5 anyway. Are you splitting this amongst everybody else, or are you pocketing this?
I'll split it with the others.
Okay.
You know, I'm not on the streets now.
Yeah, yeah. No. There's a difference, but I'll show you mechanically. The difference is as you kind of sort of gather all of this. It's not a fortune. There are 86 silver pieces and 24 silver pieces, 86 copper pieces. If you were taking them yourself, I would have put them straight onto your character sheet. Because you're sharing them, I can do this fantastic thing here, which automatically splits the coin amongst all of you players. If obviously your characters want to refuse the coin, then you can shout up. But yeah, that's why I was asking more than anything else. If I pop it into
No,
the
that's
party
fine,
sheet.
and I'll take the additional 2 copper that's
Okay.
left over.
So feel free to, because you can't split that. So just add that to your character sheet as well, and that is gone. But with the help of Drew, as you investigate it, you notice that one of the individuals, they've got fairly mundane daggers upon them, and to be honest, they are not particularly worth even bothering with. But one of the daggers is actually quite fine and does indeed seem to have a silvered blade to it, um, uh, which is obviously increasing the value as well. So I don't know if you wanted to take that.
Yeah, I'll grab that. Just
Okay.
so that once we're in the mausoleum or anything, I'll let others aware. But
Yeah.
that's when I'll probably hand out the coin as well.
Cool. So that is put into the party sheet as well under there, and you can sort of click on the brown shield and it tells you all about it. It's a simple melee weapon. The blade of the dagger has been coated in silver. You don't think it's magical, but it might be if anybody's got the ability to cast that. So this is slightly delayed you catching up with the others, but as you catch up with the others have had chance to kind of look at this mausoleum that has been pointed out by the Institute.
He's lagging a little bit behind because he is still stabbed.
Okay, are you showing obvious signs of being wounded? Are you going to draw that attention to anybody?
Well, I'm going to be in a little bit of pain
Okay.
because I have lost like a third of my hit points still.
Wow. Yeah. So quite obviously, sort of
Well, it's quite
wounded.
obvious because I'm bleeding through my shirt and
Yeah.
probably complaining that I need to get a new one.
Okay.
When you're complaining, Ali will just be like, "Yes, but did you see Sakat? He almost died. They really hated him." Sorry.
Our temples have something of a rivalry.
I got that impression from the way they actually targeted you.
Well, Bast is a goddess of home and civilization, and Set is a god of chaos in the desert.
True.
Most definitely rivals.
I think a few minutes rest might be welcome.
Okay. I mean, there is, in this actual cemetery, this necropolis, really, the sun is beating down, but because of the blocks of stone and stuff, it's relatively easy to find some shade, if that's what you want to do. Are you suggesting you take a short rest or just catch your breath?
Well, I don't know how long it will take our archaeologist friends to suss out what they need to from this place.
Well,
In the meantime, taking a rest and keeping an eye out in case more Setites or more bandits show up is probably a good idea for those of us who aren't very investigating.
Cole says this is fascinating. I thought it was. This is an amazing find. Um, I mean, the Setites most definitely haven't actually got into it yet. Look, the sand is heaped around the crypt. I mean, maybe this is what they were looking for. Maybe they fundamentally didn't know that this was here. But look at this. Look at the facade, the facade, here, these massive doors, and he excitedly points it out. He looks at Miss Missing. She nods and smiles. Yes. He kind of starts dusting it off a little bit, and he reveals a relief bearing the likeness of an ancient Ibian woman. He he kind of points to various imagery. There is a star and an ankh, and then they begin to move away some of the dust to look at the hieroglyphics, the ancient language, ancient Ibyan language, and they begin to translate it. Fascinating. Kind of looks up at the rest of you to see if any of you are paying any attention.
They will just be sort of like lying there yawning. Fascinating, yes.
Perfect.
Drew is definitely paying attention. He's keen to investigate these ruins and find out information.
So he pointedly looks at you, Drew, and says, "Look, come here. Do you recognise this? You can give me a history roll."
It's well, that was nearly good.
Okay, Drew. Yeah, unfortunately, that is a fail. Fortunately, not a critical fail.
It looks familiar.
Yeah.
It looks really, really familiar, but I can't quite put my finger on it. I feel like I should know.
Yeah, you should know, he says. It's fascinating. This is the lost tomb of Sanura, a high priestess. I'll put that in chat for everybody that wants to keep track of all of the things. Sanara. I think I might spell that wrong, actually. I think it might be Sunar. No, Sanura. God dear. Sanura. I knew I pronounced it right. That's better. Sanura. She was a high priestess. She is known as the Song of Isis. So the histories say, was instrumental to returning the weave, to returning magic to the world after the Dark Ages. The time in the wake left between the Wish War and the dark times of the Crimson Pharaoh. This is an amazing find.
Drew is feeling kind of overwhelmed with the fact that he missed that, because that's the basics, yeah?
It's
really simple archaeology stuff. Oh, but he's not going to give it away.
Yeah, that is absolutely fine.
Of course. That's why it was so obvious. I didn't even think of it as possibly being something we might find here.
Indeed. Who knows what things are within the tomb. He kind of looks and scratches his chin. You can easily see that there is a massive set of stone double doors affixed to the northern side of the structure, but there is wind-blown sand heaped around the crypt, partially burying the doors that lead within. This is going to take time. We're going to have to. Has anybody got shovels?
Drew has a shovel.
Excellent.
Drew is also quite strong.
Excellent. So, are you going to start trying to clear this away?
Certainly. While everyone else is having a rest, Drew didn't take any damage, so he's not feeling injured.
Okay.
Or particularly short on abilities. He'll nod at the others and say, "You get your wounds tended. I'll dig."
He'll just look at him and go,
Fun with that.
"I was not injured, but I do not like manual labor." Yes. I'll direct you, Drew. Look, there's some sand there. Just, get that.
Okay, this is.
We'll trade off with you if you get tired.
Yeah. It's quite a large job, and it's going to take an hour or so. Is there anything anybody wants to do other than give moral support to Drew as he begins to clear this sand away from the doors?
I will take this opportunity to spend a hit dice, I think.
Yeah, as I say, there is shade. There is no reason. Don't forget, house rules is you can have up to 2 short rests within a day. So this will count as your first short rest. But spend those hit dice if you want.
Whilst I'm resting, I'll meditate a little bit and I'll try and communicate with Iffy.
Okay.
Just to check with him to see if searching this tomb of Sanura is the right way to go for where he wants me to go.
Right, that is an interesting thing. You focus and concentrate. Anybody paying any kind of attention would perhaps not even notice what he's doing, although he has gone quiet for a moment.
Unusual.
Yeah,
He's going to find that suspicious.
absolutely. It's when they always go quiet,
You
something
see him
bad is going on.
cross-legged, like in some meditation thing that you've never seen him do before. Yeah.
So I'm just going to watch him.
And it's very strange. It takes a while, maybe 10 minutes, and he just sits so still. And then you basically see, well, how do you communicate? What is your focus? What have you got? Is it the classic lamp, or is it something else?
I'll have the lamp in front of me.
Yeah.
It'll be the first time anyone saw me bring out the lamp.
So do you want to
yeah,
describe what it's like then?
the lamp's actually an old beat up, battered lamp with dinks and dents in it. It doesn't look. It's not fancy. It's not jeweled at it in any way, shape, or form. But maybe if I gain levels, maybe it will change its appearance slightly. But at the moment, yeah, it's looking pretty beat up and just an old, dirty lamp.
And as he concentrates, you've not really seen him sort of light the lamp or anything else, but he focuses and eventually. Thank you very much for the anonymous gifter. That is very generous of you. You see sort of wisps of smoke. The strange thing is that the smoke is kind of red in colour as it kind of whiffs up. And as smoke would normally do, it sort of tends to sort of dissipate. But before it can truly vanish, you see Ali sort of breathe in, and the smoke just goes up his nostrils, almost as if it is kind of breathing in some illicit kind of scent or smoke. And you feel good, Ali. You feel very good. You feel that everything is positive, and that's most definitely the direction that Iffy wants you to go.
Okay. And then as I come out of the trance, almost like waking up, I'll just be, and thank you, Iffy, just out loud, out of nowhere. And then, yeah, I'll just stretch a little bit, put my little lamp away. I'll be like, so does anyone use dagger here? Found a nice dagger.
Anybody
Well,
looking across?
things.
Sorry, yeah. This is a nice dagger. It's well decorated, and it's definitely got a silvered edge.
Well, if no one else is going to partake, I would definitely like that dagger. Matches my aesthetic, don't you think?
It will do better in your hands than mine, I think.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
I'm glad
I
we're all
use
in agreement.
magic, and I'll wing it at Zach. I'll just throw the dagger at Zach.
I don't need anyone else stabbing me today. Thanks. Pulls it out of the stone.
Perfect. Yeah, this is a keen blade as well. Again, you're not entirely sure. You don't think it's perhaps magical, but It's a great addition. Have you got that transferred across to your character now?
I took it out of the party
Yeah.
fund,
So
but I'm going to delete it off mine.
no,
so-
the thing to do is drag it back to the party items,
okay.
and you can
Right.
drop it back in there, and then Zach can pull it onto their character sheet.
Did that work?
Do I do this?
Let's have a look for you. Silver dagger. You grab the shield.
Oh, is it the shield I have to grab?
Yeah,
on it?
yeah. You
Okay.
just grab that shield.
There
There
you
you go.
Yep.
Dropped it in, and then you just do the reverse. You open up your character on your inventory sheet, Zach,
Inventories. Yes.
and then you just grab that brown shield with a silver dot and drag it back across and drop it into your inventory.
I've just no.
I'm not sure.
Hey. Did that work?
No.
I don't think that worked.
So you open up your inventory. I'll drop it in for you. It is fine.
We
There
might
you
need
go.
to remove something because I've added something to it.
No, it's just telling you that you've seen that. You need to do it from the party sheet, but I've done it for you anyway. If you check your inventory now, the silver dagger is in there for you. Okay, so a good hour passes. Some of you begin to sort of bandage yourself up a little bit, fortifying yourself. There was some kind of strange breathing in of some smoke of sorts. And the sand is cleared away. You can see, though, quite easily the doors themselves, 10 feet tall, made of solid stone. And there's no visible handles or hinges. I mean, these are tombs. These are designed to stay closed.
Do you have a crowbar in that backpack of yours, Drew? Might have to try and force the doors at some point soon.
Drew takes the spade, puts it into his backpack, strapped across the back of it, reaches into the backpack. Like this, you mean? Pulls out a crowbar.
Zach also pulls out a crowbar.
All the crowbars.
I should have known you'd both come prepared.
But wouldn't these huge doors have some kind of magical word to open them?
That sounds like a job for the magic of Iffy.
Ify has nothing to do with Sarana. He is before her, yes. But maybe our esteemed friends have found something in the inscribes around the tomb.
They look. There is no magic here. And let us share this map with you now.
I'll just look at them and I go, there is magic here, and I'll produce little sparks out of my fingers.
Very good. Yeah, I mean, there does indeed seem to be some kind of magic here, absolutely. But the doors, I believe, are physical. Cole kind of moves a little bit closer and has a look. That is truly interesting. Truly interesting, he says. Look, and anybody who is interested in sort of checking it out. The telltale traces of mortar along the seams and joints that have long since crumbled or been chipped away. These doors were meant to be sealed permanently, not intended to be opened again. Someone has, a long time ago, managed to open these doors. We need to be careful, though. These places can tend to be trapped.
Well, I I mean, we can try and open them again if they've been opened before. Surely we can do it again. But if we want to check to see if there are any traps, that's...
I have a question.
Hmm.
So tombs are meant to be sealed anyway, but you said this was opened before and sealed again.
Wow, the doors are closed. It isn't resealed. The doors fit quite snugly, but look, and he kind of points out to you that the mortar has been cracked, and it's relatively obvious that these were two doors that meet together, but they've kind of mortared the doors together, and that mortar has been broken open. The seal, in fact, the seal has been broken.
Seal's been broken, so someone's already tried to get into it.
All already got in,
Or broke out.
broke out.
Is there any indication as to which way the doors might have been broken from, in or out?
Give me an investigation roll.
Assist
If
with
something,
it.
if something broke out, they were very polite and closed the door behind them.
That's a very good point. But I'll
Depends
still
if they
give an
actually want
investigation
to.
roll.
Yeah, if they want to know that everyone else
I won't
out.
argue with that.
Sorry, Zach, what you were just saying?
I was just saying it depends if they did want to know if they got out or not.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
also I was offering to help with the investigation.
Very good. So, Drew, you can roll another dice to see if you can do better than that. Yep. So together, the two of you, you kind of look at it, and you begin to work out that there are hidden hinges concealed within the each side of the door. The doors are designed to fundamentally open outwards. It's impossible to really tell whether something has broken in or out of this. Whatever happened, this was a good number of years ago. The amount of sand that has built up here that had to be cleared away, etc., etc. It's been a long time since these doors have been open, but open they have been. And with the rolls that you do get, you do notice that it looks like it was jimmied as well with a crowbar. So one seems to indicate that someone broke into this place.
And it's likely that any ancient traps, if there were any, were set off then. But we don't see it. Do we see any signs of
Not with those rolls. Not with those
nothing?
rolls.
Nothing to see.
I'll be like,
Crowbars then.
that sounds safe, and I'll step back whilst.
Perfect. So you step back. Who's going to do this?
Yeah, Drew will step forward
Okay.
and start brandishing the crowbar and trying to find a point of weakness.
Okay. Did Zach, who also said he's got a crowbar, want to do anything?
So wait, didn't we actually? We've just checked to make sure that anything broke in or out. We're assuming about traps. Do you want me to check if there's anything that we might have missed?
No, I think you guys covered it. This should be funny.
You can give it a cursory second look if you want.
Do you mean fine, Ali?
Hmm?
You said funny.
No,
Do you
he
mean
means
fine?
funny.
Okay.
Yes.
He definitely means funny. Another investigation roll, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It is.
No. Why are you not doing it? Cool.
Oh, very nice.
Oh.
Yeah, you double check. You are familiar that these are tombs and there will be all sorts of things, but you're fairly convinced that no. If there was anything here, it's certainly been eroded by time or certainly activated by whoever broke in here. You think it's safe to proceed.
Do you want some help, Drew? Or are you good on your own?
I think the more bodies we have pulling, the better it'll be. If anyone wants to give me a bit of assistance,
Well, I'll
I'll
help.
definitely
For what that's worth.
appreciate. So
Sorry.
how do we proceed?
Yep. Okay, so strength athletics with advantage.
Coming up.
Okay.
I think you needed the advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hard work. These are heavy stone doors, but they do slowly but surely creak open, allowing you to see within the room itself.
Can I
think
double
we're
check
in.
a point?
Oh, sorry. Say that.
Sonora was a high priestess of Isis, right?
Yes. Can you give us a religion roll on that if you want?
Sure. While they're
DC.
busy popping open the door,
Yeah.
I will offer up an apology.
Okay, that sounds good. I like that. Yeah, so give us that religion roll.
There we go. It's the dice.
Perfect. Yeah. So Isis, both fertility and magic, she was considered and perhaps still is one of the more powerful goddesses, supposedly bringing back people from the dead. And we're not talking about raising the dead into undead. We're talking about resurrection. She most definitely had many altercations with the god Set as well, who was her brother. So yeah, that might be the indication that the Setites were here, not just to uncover this, but to perhaps desecrate it, or for even darker purposes. So the crowbar opens this, and this rectangular room is empty, save for some engravings and fixtures upon the walls. There are a pair of heavy stone doors that you have just opened, and an immense stone wheel against the south wall. The air is stale, and layers of dust and sand cover the floor, lying in a thicker layer to the south. All four walls bear sunk relief engravings and hieroglyphs, while there are small stone faces affixed to the walls at about shoulder height in each corner. The stone wheel to the south is engraved with a large ankh and is set in stone tracks in the floor and ceiling. It most obviously is some kind of rotating kind of seal. So it's up to you if you wish to enter. You can't because we're on a new map. There we go. You can enter now. Hopefully that will give you freedom of movement.
Drew will swap his. I think he'll swap his crowbar for a couple of short swords and edge in.
Okay. You have that
Carefully.
feeling that you are the first person to tread in here in a very long time.
Anyone want me to go ahead just to check things out a bit?
Yes. Come in. I'll stand in the middle like this, just waiting for things to hit me.
It seems that Ali is running up and down the thing.
Just looking for shinies and stuff. Just like,
Yeah.
nope, nothing here. Nope, nope.
Okay. It seems, Zach, the fact that Ali is running around, if there was any traps in here, he might well have set it off.
Ali, do you remember that discussion we had? That one where I check to make sure that you're not going to get shot by anything.
But you said there was no traps. You said that quite
At
clearly.
the door. The door. This is a tomb.
Oh, right. Okay.
But by all means, you'll save us getting shot if you want to keep running around.
Well, hopefully it will go above my
This-
head and shoot someone behind me.
This was the thing that was funny, right?
Yes, this is the funny.
That you get shot by a trap because you were rushing around. I get it now.
Excellent
Or
stuff.
you get shot.
Drew, where to next?
Well, there looks to be that. You describe it as a rotating seal?
Yeah, it's like a large stone disc, and there are tracks in the floor, and it looks like you would have to push it one way or the other, rotating it out of the way, and it would reveal perhaps another doorway. Certainly big enough. It has a stone ank. The walls are covered in various hieroglyphs and the like. It's up to you whether you want to try and translate them.
I certainly will at least see if I recognise the script.
Okay, give us a history roll again.
I'll pop my head out and go, Cole, Miss Missing. It's trap free in here. I just checked.
They thank you, and they come in. The majesty of it, says Cole. This is unbelievable. I mean, we're about to.
Can you make out any of the script?
He begins to sort of work with you, but your 19 is most definitely good enough. Although the writing of it is not overly welcoming. Indeed, the hieroglyphs are ancient Ibyan, and with the engravings, they describe the life of the tomb's enshrined occupant, Senura. Most definitely the most celebrated high priestess, instrumental in the awakening of magic once again. High priestess of Isis, but the hieroglyphs do warn. Senura's tomb is well defended. Those who would defile it tempt the wrath of the gods. An additional warning at the end. Turn back while you can.
Translation's being said out loud, is it?
Oh yeah. I'll read out what I can, and I'll say all tombs have that bit. It's the standard bit they have on the end of the ancient hieroglyphs.
Like a disclaimer, maybe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. None of them want us
Yeah,
in.
disclaimer. Nice.
Yeah.
Come on then. How do we open it?
Well, there's no instructions though, are there?
It's round. I guess
Is
you
it as
push
Twist
it.
it.
Push
Just
it
as
to the
obvious
side.
as it looks?
Shall we check it over and then just brute force and rolling it down the tracks? Yeah. But let's see if there's anything obvious that is like the switch that makes it move on its own first before I exert myself again.
Or a switch that shoots arrows at us?
Yeah, exactly.
I will have a little look for you.
Okay, Zach.
I'll
will
assist
shout
Zach
out.
with that if I can.
Open, Sonora. Anything happen?
Nothing happens.
Okay, that didn't work. Okay,
Helpful.
ready.
So yeah, with the advantage.
Ha!
Very good. Looking around,
Teamwork makes the dream work.
you are indeed kind of aware that this was meant to be permanent, and the track, which is now covered in sand, was there to push it into the way rather than push it out of the way. There is no opening from this side. There may be from the other side if they were anticipating her rise again, but certainly nothing from this side, as she was to be permanently incarcerated here. So it looks like you're going to have to clean out the track and use physical force again.
Can help clean this track out. That's about as good as we're going to get. So,
I can
does
help with
anyone
that.
Yeah.
And I will go stand near the track, and I'll use prestidigitation to slowly start cleaning it.
Yeah,
Just like magic, and it just a gentle breeze just blows out some sand.
you're going to be here quite a while with with
I'm
that.
just going to start digging it out
Okay.
and hope that people stronger than me can push a great big stone circle thing.
Okay. So you do indeed manage to clear it. It's just again a matter of time, and you are not under any undue time pressure realistically at the moment, or maybe you are. Maybe there will be setites coming after you. Difficult to say, but you do indeed clear the track out, Ali. Every little helps, I guess.
Oh, well, when I look over at Zach and he's all sweating after working really hard, I'll just put a little bit of prestidigitation, like a little aircon unit on myself saying, "Whoo, that was hard work, yes. Woohoo!"
Brilliant. Okay. So,
Bast will understand if you want to hit him, Zach.
If he fixes my shirt, I might forgive him.
I clean it later.
so this
What about your magic?
Yeah, that's how I clean it with magic.
this stone wheel is going to be difficult to move. You can probably get one, maybe two people to the side of it that could give any kind of force to try and roll it back. The problem is, and you would have noticed this with your investigations, that it's kind of on a slight gradient. So you're literally trying to push this huge stone wheel up, and anytime you let it go, it will just roll back and fall back into place. As I said, it's been designed to keep the tomb sealed.
I have a miner's pick in my backpack.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if one of you could use the pick to sort of wedge as we move to try to prevent it from rolling back far.
Certainly a good idea.
I could
Who
try
knows?
wedging it in. I'm quite close to the ground.
Excellent. Yeah, I'll
Well-
I'll take the big push again, but if anyone wants to help me, then that will also be appreciated. If you can then wedge it.
I'll try and lend a shoulder to that.
Yeah,
I'm
this
not
is
the
gonna,
strongest, but
this indeed is going to be much worse than using the crowbar on the doors. So who is trying to sort of push? So it is Drew
Definitely.
Drew and Sakat. Is that all right?
yeah.
Drew
Uh,
goes to
Whoever
hopefully
is
I
hand
can
me.
outgunned
assist.
is literally going to step out the way.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
As Drew tries to pass me a piton, I'll be like, "Oh, I have some of those. I
No, it's
wondered
a
what
big
they were for."
pickaxe.
Oh, is it a
It's a
pickaxe?
big pickaxe. Yeah.
Oh, fair enough. I'll take out a hammer then to try it. I'll be like, "I'll hammer it in." Okay.
So
okay.
it's a bit bigger and tougher than a pickaxe, I hope. Than a piton, sorry, I hope.
Hmm. Okay, so who wants to take the lead with pushing this?
I mean, Drew's pretty strong, he thinks. He's certainly.
Sakat is not super weak, but I suspect that Drew is stronger.
Okay,
Drew will take lead.
so you can do this and you have advantage.
Okay, is it athletics that we're using?
Strength athletics, yeah.
Super.
And are you trying your best, Ali, to jam the pickaxe in and give them a moment's pause?
Once they've pushed it up, I'm going to try and jam it in to
Okay.
wedge it in there. I
So,
believe.
what are you going to use? I mean, the DC is reduced because you've got the right equipment.
Well, it's got his pickaxe, but
Yeah.
I've got like a hammer and
Yeah,
stuff to try
exactly.
and hammer it.
So I'm not even going to say you need to make a sort of roll at the moment, as you kind of the sort of Drew and Sakat push it up, and you manage to pin it in place and the light from the outside, because unless anybody's lit anything, has it's only the natural light coming in. But as you start hammering it in, boom, 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 you do pin it into place. But obviously there's a large amount of vibrations. Can you all give me perception rolls, please?
Will mine be at disadvantage because I'm busy hammering something?
If you want it to be at disadvantage, you can say you are focusing on that.
Oh.
So, Sakat, you notice it, but you are too slow to do anything about it other than give warning. You notice with all of the vibrations and the pushing, a small scorpion has dropped down on top of Drew's shell, quite agitated by this, and it is going to attempt to sting Drew. So it doesn't have advantage on its attack because you have seen it, and I'm assuming you're going to shout a warning. Otherwise,
I will do. Yes.
yeah. I was assuming that you were going to do that, but so with the warning, Drew, you have that split second, that heartbeat to sort of react as it drops down upon you, and it is going to make this attack against you.
You're giving me an action.
No, you don't have an action. You just basically does this, and now we all go to initiatives as it had its first attack against you. So if everybody wants to roll initiatives, as this tiny creature is perched on the shell of Drew. Death can come in the smallest of ways. But it is slow moving as it scuttles upon your body. So, Zach, you hear this shout. What do you shout, Sakat?
Scorpion, look out.
Okay.
Keep it simple.
So, Zach, give me another perception roll. You can have advantage on this due to the fact that Sakat is pointing it out.
Can't see for looking.
If you go to your skills
Perception, there
page,
it is. Sorry,
yeah.
no, it's as in can't see. I couldn't see the skill on the page.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's me being overtired.
That's okay. You have been
Perception,
playing
yeah?
games for a long time. Yeah, perception roll. This is a free action just to see whether you can. Yep, so you can easily see this thing, and it's doing that thing of it's now going between the shell and Drew's neck as it's kind of moving along. Did you want to do anything basically?
Close am I to him? I think I'm literally right behind him.
Yeah, you can. The scorpion
all
is
right,
actually
okay.
on Drew, so it's everybody can target it should you wish to.
Yeah, I literally want to whip out my dagger and use it to flick it off.
Okay, so we'll target the scorpion for you, and then you can use your dagger. So give me a dagger attack.
Cool. Just an attack or?
Yeah, just an attack as you. This is a tiny creature. If you can hit it, which unfortunately you can't.
No.
As you just try to. Drew, there's something on you, and people are swinging at you at the moment. So we will. I mean, you do have a bonus action, and you do have a move action, but I don't know if there's anything else for you to do.
No, I don't think there's anything I can do.
No, that's cool. You know, just always worth giving you the opportunity. So, Ali, you see this tiny creature scuttling across the back of Drew.
I'm gonna I'm gonna step back if that's all right.
Yeah, it's not going to have an attack of opportunity. It doesn't have that kind of reach.
And then I'll just aim like it looks like I'm aiming at Drew.
Yeah,
Uh, and I'll just be like, Cosmic Blast!
just don't get that critical fail.
Yes, yes, let's see what happens.
Give us a roll.
Oh yeah, I'll just put them down here.
Ooh, that is a miss. This scorpion has not the biggest of armor classes.
Just
Yeah,
just slightly it's close to a critical fail, so
yeah,
it just goes past Drew's ear.
that's right.
Oh, I missed it.
Okay, and then we move to Sakat. Drew, how are you feeling at the moment with everybody? It's like everybody's attacking you.
Yeah, a little bit aggressed.
Okay, but it is Sakat's go. You can see it. No need to roll. Everybody can see this thing now.
I'm going to make a similar effort to try and flick the thing off Drew before he gets stung.
Yeah. So you're targeting the scorpion. Give us an attack roll. Yeah. So you hit it. Give me some damage.
Thank the gods for that.
Yeah. That is easy
Ooh.
enough. Instant death
Instant
as you just. Yep.
Now, given that I go on the same initiative as Sekat, and for pure flavour benefit, at this point, Drew will invoke shell defense and withdraw into his shell to gain a
Okay.
+4 bonus to his armor class
Yeah.
and advantage on strength and con saving throws, just in case he gets stung with, I don't know, some poison or something.
Yeah, no, that is absolutely marvelous. I love the total ability to do that as you just and you see Drew just fold into the shell. The scorpion dead multiple times over. It's a tiny creature, but it shows you that death can come in very small places.
And as it is seemingly swiped from my shell, I shall pop back out again
Okay.
as a bonus action.
Oh,
He's just staring at Sakat in slight admiration.
perfect.
Thank you, Sekat.
It reminds me of the
That's
story
all right.
of the scorpion and the tortoise. Have you heard it?
I think I am it.
Lee, did you just make that story up?
Yes.
Great. You should write a book.
Okay, but it seems that Ali has done exactly what he wanted. He's banged this thing into place. The wheel is now stuck open, and the next chamber is revealed. Pretty much what you kind of expected. You've kind of walked around this mausoleum, but what you do see is a large pit in the center of this room. The room is square, starkly devoid of any markings or adornment. In the center of the room is the chamber. In the chamber's floor is a square shaft dropping straight down into the darkness. There's a faint musky odor rising from the pit. You see that there's a single piton that has been hammered into the stone floor by the northeast corner of the pit, and a dusty length of rope dangles from the piton into the shaft. That is everything that you can see from where you are.
Can anyone see in the dark?
Yes.
Okay.
To
How
a
far
point,
does
anyway.
the pit go?
So it's difficult
Keeping
to,
an eye out for more scorpions.
yeah. So you kind of move in. You can make out with the very dim light that is shining through now. The way that dark vision works is that if you're in dark, it counts as dim light, and if you're in dim light, it counts as normal, but you always can't really make out details, just grayscale. So it's not optimal. It gives you an idea. And when you go in there and sort of look down, you can kind of see that the pit is remarkably crafted. It's an example of superior masonry. The lip of the pit seems to have inscriptions upon it, and as you look down, the shaft drops about 60 feet to the floor below. You can just about make out the floor with your dark vision.
It's safe enough for some light.
Should have
Shall I light
dark
a torch?
vision. I don't think it's on my list.
As an atom, you should, yeah.
Yeah, let's have a look. It might be. It should be on your character. Yeah, you've got it on your main page under senses, dark vision 60 foot.
Right. It's the order of things. Sorry, it threw me a bit.
No, it's okay. If you're looking at the main page under senses, it is there.
Answering Drew, a torch would be a good idea. It's about 60 feet down, but it's difficult to make out what's at the bottom.
I'll light a torch next to him and I'll just throw it in the pit. Does
Okay.
that help?
So it does the and it's kind of almost that strobe effect as it comes and it hits the floor, and it burns for a while. You can see that it is now 60 foot down. It doesn't give you any more real advantage at the moment, except if there was anything below there, like more scorpions or snakes or anything, they might have reacted to the fire. But you can't see anything at the bottom. It is just floor of the same sort of yellowy orange sandstone.
So I'm going to light a torch to actually read the glyphs around here and investigate that rope.
Yep. Okay. So the rope is relatively easy to investigate. You see that it's been cut. It sort of drops down maybe about 5 foot, if that, and that's it. Looks like it's either been cut or it's snapped or frayed. But as you begin to try and manipulate it, the rope is very old and it more or less disintegrates immediately. So it's a good number of years, maybe 20, 30 years old, maybe even longer.
What does it take for a rope to disintegrate, do you think?
I'll just look at Sakat and I'll say, it just takes Sakat to touch it, it seems.
I didn't handle that.
No,
That's all over Drew's
it was
paws.
all Drew's. But Drew, you're looking at the hieroglyphics as well. Cole is more than happy to give you advantage on this, as he's trying to help you translate it as well. So give me a history roll with advantage. That is good enough, and it's ancient Ibian again, and it's not a curse. It's kind of a reminder that as Isis returned her son from the underworld, one day Senura might return, and it's kind of sort of panned out there, indicating she might return from the underworld. Doesn't seem to be a curse or anything.
This is meaningful information. I mean, again, it's the kind of thing one would expect on a tomb like this, but it's certainly novel. I'm sure the Institute will be very pleased with these findings.
Cole says this is amazing, and they're kind of taking rub-ins and kind of making notations. There's nothing that they've done so far that's gave you any real indication that they are nothing other than true sort of archaeologists. They are fascinated with the history and taking great detail down. They seem to be very passionate and excited about it as well. Okay.
Are there any more signs of scorpions in the ceiling?
Give me a perception roll.
Well, that page does not work.
No, even with the torchlight now sort of flickering, it kind of casts shadows, and you occasionally think you can see movement, but you think it's a trick of the light, really.
Oh, best to be safe.
Absolutely.
One little surprise from above is enough.
They are deadly.
Shall we investigate how robust that piton's mooring is? How well fixed it is?
Yeah, absolutely. You can give me, if anybody's got a climbing kit, you can give me a roll. Otherwise, it will be a survival roll.
I just want to see if the one that is in there is fixed firmly or not.
Yeah, I mean, you can waggle it and it seems to be fixed firmly, but if you really
While
want
you
to be...
point it out, Ali will just start kicking it, just
Okay.
like kick.
Yeah. While all this is going on, Zach is taking out his own piton, hammering it in, securing a new rope to it, and feeding it down the hole.
Okay. So give me a survival roll for that, Zach.
I'll give an assistance if I can.
Yep. So you have advantage on this, Zach.
Excellent.
I don't know if we're going to need another length of rope on the end of that.
So you
I
can
think
see
we
that
may.
it drops down 60 foot. So a 50-foot piece of rope is going to sort of leave you 10 foot short, basically.
Yeah, I'm going to ask for another piece of rope while I figure that out.
I've got a rope.
Excellent. You tie knots.
I think I'm all right.
Okay, give me a survival roll as well.
And I will assist.
Okay, just keeping an eye on you, so you've got advantage. Yep, more than good. You're quite satisfied. I mean, it is a long way down, and the rope is going to certainly help, but this is not something that you particularly want to fall down. So,
I'll just turn to Cole and Missing and say, maybe you two should set up base up here and you know, do all your rubbings and stuff. And
well,
if we find anything, we'll bring it back up.
that sounds good. I mean, we should keep. It looks a long way down, and if yeah, we don't want someone to come behind and drop the rope down or anything. There's a
If
lot.
any of those sect people turn up, just say you are protected by Iffy. Okay?
Hmm. Right. Yes. Will that make a difference?
No, probably not. They'll probably still stab you, but you
All
know,
right.
it's worth a try. Okay?
Well, at least we know. There's plenty of things we can study here. So yes. I don't recommend touching anything. Call us if you see anything, and it'll be good for us to be able to see it in situ, if you know what I mean.
Oh, we will not touch anything. And I'll look over at Zach and I'll just wink.
Okay. They begin to start taking out some of. They've got like a small fold-out table that they've been carrying. Start sort of setting up in the corner to start taking rub-ins and do translations and stuff. They seem to be very excited by it all.
Yeah, knowing these two, I'm actually going to try and set up something rudimentary, kind of alarm-wise, at the
At the
entrance, which is
Okay.
just like a trip thing.
So
basically.
this is a reverse of fundamentally disarm traps. This is a set traps. So it's the same thing. So if you've got thieves tools,
Yep.
you can do a thieves tools proficiency check, or if you have a sleight of hand, you can use that instead, whichever you want to choose.
me. Oh yeah. How do you use your proficiencies?
You don't need to worry about that. So if you've got thieves tools, you just be using. Let's have a look at your skills. So you've got sleight of hand there. So your sleight of hand's probably going to be best. So just double click where it's got the +4.
Yep.
There we go. Okay, so that doesn't succeed or fail. All that does is sets the DC to the trap or whatever you've done to there for it.
Yeah.
So setting that, it is done.
Okay, and then I will move up to come and help.
Yeah.
I'll be like, Sakat, is your god friends with Isis?
They get on well enough, I suppose.
Okay, you first.
All right.
Okay. This is
Suggestion briefly. I think I should go first.
You you're not religious.
No, but I
First,
am
I think the
more
person who
aware
should,
of things.
yeah, the person who should go first should be one who can see well and who can get out quickly.
Hi,
I think that's you. I agree.
you're welcome.
okay. So, are you going to try and climb down?
Um,
Okay, this is going to be a strength athletics, and you have -1 to that.
Ray. So a different way I can go down using acrobatics instead.
Unfortunately, not. This is climbing.
I'm going to break my neck. Doo-dah, doo-dah.
I mean, there are various things that you could do as a group to try and mitigate much of that. It's a long way to fall, and falling 60 feet could be deadly.
Probably would kill me.
We could lower you down.
I may need a little support, guys.
Zach,
We could lower you down.
before
I
you
think
do
that
that,
might be a good idea.
why don't we like tie knots in the rope to make it easier to climb down? Hmm?
Well, someone's going to need those because you can't all lower each other down.
Okay,
True.
well, whoever is best at this climbing thing, yeah.
I'm the lightest, but I really don't want to be the first down. That
I am happy
sucks.
to go first. Someone will just need to lower me down.
I'm
I
also
can.
not
I'm
very
happy
strong.
to.
If we tie a loop around your waist, we can lower you down.
Yeah,
That shouldn't be too difficult.
not necessarily around the waist, but like a slot for the foot would probably be better. There's a good chance you might just cut someone in half unless you.
Like a little
Trust me,
foot,
I worked on a ship, so I'm going to make a loop and put my foot in it
Yeah.
and hold on
Yeah,
like I'm in the rigging.
that is fine, and that is a much better option. With the 2 or 3 of you doing it, I'm assuming you're all at the moment trying to lower Zach down.
Yeah.
Me again offering moral support and just say, Zach, if you die, I'll remember you.
I swear at him in Celestial.
Perfect.
Language.
And
It is not what that language is meant for.
Zach, you
But
are
it sounds
lowered
so
down
beautiful.
into a chamber. The chamber is lit because of the torch that has been dropped down. There is no roll needed with 2 people on the rope, and you are slowly lowering down 1 person. You, I guess, unhook the rope and getting ready for it to be pulled back up. You do,
Yep.
though, get to see this room. You basically see that there are images of a woman in side profile facing inwards either side of or either side of the ornate pair of stone doors in the west wall. The figure is depicted naked, and she holds a rod in one hand and an ankh raised in the other. Fairly typical of the art style of ancient Ib. You do, though, see that there is a crumpled humanoid body lying directly in front of these doors. There is a decay, a slight hint of decay hanging in the air, and a dried stain mars the stone floor underneath the body. Other than that, the only other thing you can see in this room is the square shaft in the ceiling rising high above.
It's just so Sakat can't hear. Does a quiet little prayer for the body.
Okay, very nice. Do you send the rope back up?
I send the rope back up. I
Okay,
basically tug on the rope for a signal for them to
yeah,
lift it.
that is perfect. The rope is
Um,
pulled back up.
While that
I'll-
is
I'll-
happening, I am going to move the body out the way.
Okay, so the body, you're going to touch the body. Interesting, interesting.
Who
Is
will
the
pull the
body
rope up?
Yep, you
is the
pull.
body actually snakes?
Yeah, it's the body snakes. Um,
It's less that I'm going to make sure that there's nothing on it immediately, and my hands are
Smear of blood.
covered.
sorry, I'm confused. You're going to make sure that there is.
There's no. I'm literally. It's a prod with a foot to make sure that there's nothing living in the corpse.
Right, yep. Okay, so no roll needed there as you kind of do it, and as you get closer, you basically see the body is mostly skeletal with a thin layer of desiccated tissue. It's about as much you can see without closer investigation, but you tap it with your foot, and one of the bones just cracks as if it is desiccated and dry.
So it's going to be fairly easy just to shift it to one side.
You can shift it to one side. It's in a very bad state. Did you want to move it?
It's not directly obstructing the.
It's not obstructing anything at all,
No,
really.
as in I meant just in the way of the rope dropping down.
No, it's not. It's closer to the double doors ahead of you.
All right.
So
Well, I'll leave it where it is then, and I've just
So,
made sure that
yeah.
nothing's dangerous on it.
perfect. You can investigate it further when other people come down, then, if that's what
Yep.
you want. So, who's coming down next?
I'll just look at the other two and I'll go, maybe it should be me because I cannot carry anybody down.
With no disrespect, I was going to suggest that.
Yeah, I mean, also, if Zachariah is dead, I can get that dagger off him. Yes. And I'll step
I'm
into
not
the
dead,
little.
and I can hear you.
You could be dead. That could be Zachariah's ghost, I'll say to the other two.
Woo!
Okay, lower me.
Okay, now I need to sort of ask this question. There's no roll needed as you lower Ali down. There's still the two of you, and Ali is substantially lighter than Zach. Do you lower Ali down though, or let go of the rope?
That would be perhaps a little too cruel at this point.
Okay, it's a question that I asked. So you lower him down and you land there safely, and you see pretty much what I described to Zach. Uh, do you unhook your foot and let the rope go back up?
Yeah, I'll unhook and tug it and go, okay, Zach's not dead,
Perfect.
but he has killed
Stare at Ali.
somebody.
I'm just going to stare at Ali. I did miss you. My aim's
Yeah.
improving.
Me too. What did you do to that person?
Okay, so the rope
I'll
goes
shout
up.
back down on, but he's killed someone. That was quick.
Wasn't me. Idiot foul or something.
Yeah, the impression that you've got, you probably work it out if you investigate the body in a moment or two. Okay, back at the top.
I'll definitely move
Sekat,
my torch up to the
Yes.
naked woman. I'll go, ooh.
there's enough spare rope here that we could probably tie loops down the length of the rope quite quickly and quite robustly to make kind of a rope ladder.
Yeah.
Would you prefer to try that to climb down, or would you prefer me to lower you down?
Well, you'll need them anyway, so we may as well tie them now and test them.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So you do that. Still going to require an ability check, but anything other than a critical fail, so a natural 1 in effect. Who wants to go first as you climb down this?
We'll let if you go first, and I'll hold a bit of the rope up so that if you are falling, that you end up at the end of the rope, perhaps.
Well,
So if you
I'll
take,
be hanging on tightly regardless.
yeah,
But I'll cautiously make my way down with the extra loops we've made.
Okay. I'm going to say with the extra loops, you can have advantage on this roll as well. So you need to be incredibly unlucky to fall to your death.
Okay, and this is strength athletics.
It is strength athletics. Absolutely no problem. And that was Saket, wasn't it?
It was, yes.
Oops, there you go. So you do
I'm
manage
not
to get
rolled
down
with
there.
advantage.
Uh,
No, I just rolled 2d20. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. There is the little ADV button that you can click, but you basically
Yeah,
got an 8
I
and
realised
a,
that afterwards.
yeah, you got an 8 and a 13, which is what I was looking at. Neither of those was a 1, where you need double ones. You need snake eyes on D20s. So you've taken your care. You've made this rope ladder. It's only if something goes terribly wrong or there is something nefarious happening that that will cause danger at the moment. So our last person is Drew. Are you going to descend down this rope?
yes.
Okay.
Let's give it a go. I've
So-
clicked advantage.
Yep. Okay.
Not snake eyes.
Not snake eyes. You're absolutely fine as you sort of climb down, and you are all down in this chamber now. And you can see that the construction of this, the hole is 10 foot above you. If you didn't have the right equipment, if your rope was dragged up, there is little to no way without flight or magic or the right equipment that you could easily make it out of this. You would literally be buried alive. But you have this room to kind of investigate. No one's really had a full look at it yet. There is the bottom and there is the carvings.
I'm looking at the naked woman carving.
Yeah, give me, I suppose, a history roll. Okay. This is a typical sort of Iberian sort of flat relief, very Egyptian in sort of style. You have a feeling, having seen the imagery upstairs, that this are identical left and right images either side of the door of a young version of Saknura.
And the door's closed.
The
at the
doors are
moment, right?
closed, yeah, there is no light shining through. In front of the door is this body that Zach has prodded, but nothing has happened as yet.
Let's see if we can work out what happened to this body, shall we?
As you begin to investigate it, give me, anybody who wants to, a medicine roll.
It's been dead too long.
Yeah. Oh, that is much better, Zach. You've often seen this. The body is quite possibly male. half elf or maybe human, died here. You notice that both the body's legs are broken in a terrible way. He probably was the person that was on the end of that rope, fell to his death, and or fell, broke his legs here, and maybe crawled to this door. Those of you looking at the body as you kind of move him, you notice that the corpse is in a very bad state, but he has a number of items. Most of the gear has suffered decades of rot and rust and is mostly unusable. But as you're kind of searching through, you find a couple of things that might be of interest. And this is where I get to do the party sheet thing again. I like doing this. I like giving gifts to our players.
Not suspicious at all.
If you click next to the combat tracker, which is the cross swords on the right, there is the party sheet, which is the three little people and the eye. If you open that and click on inventory, you'll see in inventory that he's got a few coins on him, 15 copper pieces. There are a couple of flasks, a hammer, and a couple of pitons. The only things that are left.
Is there anything on the coins that shows their age?
They are date stamped, and you kind of look at them. These coins are about 50 years old, the dates on them. They are from Europa. So it means that someone has come here before and uncovered this tomb 50 years ago.
We must ask these two from Europa whether they know of any expeditions that came 50 years ago that were perhaps the reasons why they came this tomb in particular. Who knows?
If you remember, Drew, your brother has teamed up with someone who unbelievably located this place, someone known as Professor Cornelia Brock.
Maybe this is where Brock got her clues from.
But certainly not there from this poor. Well, it might have been from this poor individual before.
The same
he died.
source. The same source.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't look like they got very far. The door ahead of you, either side of this relief, is closed. Looks heavily shut.
Doesn't look like the doors at the front where they'd been pried open.
No, they don't look like they've been pried open.
Okay.
Zach, if no one else is, Zach's going to kneel down, and while muttering a little prayer in Celestial, is going to relieve him of the items.
Okay, all of them?
Yes.
Okay. So...
I think you should share, Zachariah.
Why? Do you particularly want some pittance?
No, but if it's what's in the flasks.
There you go. So do you have any response to that, Zachariah?
Flask. Something I don't think you should have. You've already got phenomenal magic powers. Oh, it's fire. I'm not giving you fire.
I think if he would demand I have all the fire.
You have ability to make fire on your own.
That is true as well.
No, I don't. I have a tinder and a torch.
Let's put it to
Haven't
a
you
vote.
got
Does
that?
anyone else want one? No?
I'll be all right without.
It's an
I'll be all
alchemist's
right with that.
fire. I'm quite happy to throw them to people when needs be. Or you can have one. There's two. Do you want one?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so let us... There you go. You can grab that, Ali. There we go. Across to you. They have a degree of worth as well. So, relieving this poor unfortunate of his last remaining items, not that he actually needs them anymore, you begin to move towards this door leading deeper into this tomb that belongs to Sonura, and it is there we will leave it for chapter 3. Well done, guys. Well done. You managed to get down the pit, and at a level 1 party, the pit is everybody's nemesis. So very good. You will be leveling up. So next session you will be level 2, which will be very cool. So we will level you up soon. So thank you very much for taking part. Thank you very much to you, the viewers, and thanks to the anonymous subscribe gift to one of our viewers. Really appreciate that. Tomorrow night will be our very first episode of the Court of Five Thunders, so hopefully you can all tune in to then. As I say, thank you very much for all the support, all the subscriptions, all the follows and everything. Hope you enjoyed that, and I can't wait to see what this group find behind that door. In the meantime, good night to everybody. Have a great Sunday. If we don't see you on Sunday, hopefully we'll catch up with you later on in the week. Night, everybody. Thanks very much for tuning in.
Thank you for the game.
Right.